Marc Spears is on the line. Spears, it's good to hear your voice, man. How are you?
Oh, have had better days. But I feel like this nightmare could end up having some beautiful results when the dust settles.
So how do we get there? Like, I know that that's a massive question and there are no easy answers. And we've talked to a lot of our friends, our colleagues, our co-hosts that are hurting right now. We've done a lot of listening to them. We aren't in the States, but we aren't without our struggles here. You're one of our dudes.
Yeah.
Like, do you have ideas on what the next steps are going to be? Or
transparency. Transparency. I think I'm starting to see some organizations that are honest with their problems. You know, seeing Sports Illustrated be upfront and say, "Hey, we don't have any black writers on our staff." Seeing another website talk about, "Hey, we don't have anybody black covering NBA for us. We have to be better." So I think in a lot of ways, for people that know that they've been doing things wrong, we can't change what happened in the past, but we could change what you could change what you do going forward. And so let's see what people change going forward. And also, you mentioned earlier, like, don't have hollow words. My biggest worry right now is, are people just saying things because it's the trendy, cool thing to do? My parents grew up in the civil rights movement. Why didn't people say things then? When I was in college, the Rodney King beating was huge. Huge story, very painful story. I watched the documentary and cried. Why didn't people say anything then? And now all of a sudden you're seeing the NFL apologize, which is laughable to me after what they did to Colin Kaepernick and ignored what his true message was about police brutality. It had nothing to do with the American flag. And it constantly got pushed in that direction. But beating the NFL up now, and I'm not saying I'm going to sit there and watch a bunch of games because their words seem hollow to me, but maybe their actions going forward will be different. So, but, I think all of us know who amongst our friends are really, or not our friends, amongst the people in our lives are really for the cause and who's for the fall, who wants to see this change and who really doesn't care. And hopefully the people that really are truly about making great change do what they can in their way and their ability and in their life to make world better for everybody in every way, instead of what we've seen in the past, which we can't change.
Marc Spears of ESPN's Undefeated here on Tim and Sid. Spearsy, forgive me. I've been kind of running around before the show like Timmy. You just did an IG Live with Steven Jackson. Is that correct?
Yeah, talked to him for about 55 minutes. It was great, insightful. It's really interesting how now Steven Jackson had a good NBA career, was a champion, known in a lot of ways for the Malice in the Palace, and being part of the We Believe Warriors team, is now the celebrity face of the George Floyd movement. He was eloquent. He had some great suggestions, some great observations for whites, for blacks, for everybody. And ultimately, he wanted us all to get along and be on the same page together. He said he's told somebody of every race that he loves them. And why can't we all love each other and work together to make this place a fair and better place? And also, was able to break the news to him about the other autopsy report, where basically was different than what Minnesota put out in saying that George Floyd basically was murdered. That basically was choked to death with that knee. And to see his reaction when I was able to give him that news, it seemed like there was like a sense of relief of the truth coming out that we saw. But he's been outstanding in he didn't ask to be the face of this. He is the face of this, but he's been handling it with a lot of intelligence, grace, and has been an amazing leader.
For those who don't know, Jackson was friends with George Floyd, called him his twin. I can't imagine how heavy that was at times to talk to him, and how uplifting it is to hear someone say, we need to be better. We need to go make sure that people are okay. What will you take away from the conversation with Steven Jackson today, outside of what you just mentioned? Like what part what part struck you the most?
How pleased he was that this is making a global impact. He was saying that he saw something in Iran. Like George Floyd's picture was in Iran.
Right.
And that the fact that this is making a global impact means a lot to him and the Floyd family. And he was so, I mean, I know Jax for a while, and I've been on the ire of Jax when he did like something I wrote. And I told him he keeps it 100 before everybody said keep it 100. You know, he's always been honest. So to see what it meant to him that this has become a world movement was great. But he also said, look, there's a lot of people out there that are looking to do bad things. They're putting bricks out there. Just coincidentally, there's bricks laying in the street. And they want turmoil. They want chaos. He was pleading to people to keep everything in a positive direction, a non-violent direction, a non-damaging of property direction, and keep the focus on the murder, the death of George Floyd, and not have things that sidetrack everybody from what the true message is.
Marc Spears of ESPN here on Tim and Sid. Spearsy, what voice do you need to hear from right now?
I want to keep hearing from the white community. I mean, like, hey, man, I love y'all. Y'all my boys, man. I love y'all. I don't even care if you're white. Y'all my brothers, man. Like, that is really, like, sincere from the heart, man. I love you two guys.
Love you too, man.
And
same way, yeah.
I feel like if I needed $1, I could call y'all give me that $1. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no race talked about. Like, when we were born, nobody asked us what race we wanted to be. You know, people were born to, grew up learning hate, learning racism, and unfortunately bought into it. But I think what white America, whites in Canada, whites in the world have to understand that I think a lot of times people are tired of the black voice, sadly. We've been yelling for 400 years. But there's an impact that comes from the white voice, from white people that say, yo, this is wrong. This systematic racism is wrong. What some people I know dearly, what they've done is wrong. And so I think the louder the white voice becomes, the louder everybody's voice becomes. So I know everybody does things in different ways. Some people aren't comfortable being on social media or speaking out, but it feels like a lot more people are. And for every white person that has the courage, like you guys have to talk about this, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because as much as it's going to take for protests and black people to yell, we need y'all to yell with us. We need y'all to be on the same team with us to change something that's silly about skin color.
I think, I said this before. Sometimes I fear not what people will say to me on Twitter, but coming across disingenuous. And I know that there are people who know me really well and know my heart and understand those are my friends and they get it. Yeah. But there's a little fear that when it comes to Twitter, that it comes across being disingenuous instead of going out there and helping.
Or someone might twist it the wrong way. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Well, but you know what? You guys are smart. You guys are smart. You know how to, like, what I always do with my tweets is I think before I say, and I make it factual, and I speak from my heart. Everybody ain't going to like you. Everybody ain't going to like what you say. people have been making comments, racial comments. Oh, here goes the black dude again. Like, right. Just because a lot of the world is yelling right now doesn't mean racism died. Those people are still around.
Yeah.
But my give it damn meter is really low. I'm tired, and I really don't care what haters say. If I know in my heart, and I know you guys, if what you feel in your heart that you're saying is real and true, and is your true feelings, you shouldn't care. Like, if they threw stones at Jesus, why wouldn't they throw stones at you? There's no way you're going to make everybody happy. So I know you guys are smart and intelligent dudes. So if you say what you say in your heart is real and true, F them.
I was going to finish the sentence.
I don't know if I can say that on Canadian Air, but
you can say F them. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say the whole thing, but
we would forgive you. I don't care.
We would forgive you.
I don't care, and I know you guys are intelligent enough and strong enough. Like, y'all words are big too. Y'all big in Canada, man. Yeah, they know. They listen to y'all countrywide.
Which is why,
like, anything Marc, you guys are comfortable saying, man, tell me, I'll retweet it.
Let's just finish with this.
But if you can't make change by worrying about what the world is going to say, because there's always going to be a hater no matter what you do.
You're right.
This systematic racism is wrong. We said it. We appreciate you, and if you need us in any way, shape, or form, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Man, I already know this. I love y'all both. Thank you for having me on. Thanks for being a part of the cause and not the fall. And for the people that are for the fall in racism and systematic racism and issues and fighting over color of the skin, I pray for you. That's all I could do, man. I pray for you that your heart changes.